This question will be quick to answer, but I want to go through other versions of this question too. You'll see what this one that I have right here is focusing on is just the y-intercept. But you might be looking at a version of this question that says, what's the x-intercept? What's the vertical asymptote? What's the horizontal asymptote? So I want to talk about each of those four important features in turn. Now, you might remember this from going over them in class, but each of them has a pretty easy recipe. For the x-intercepts, we set the numerator of the rational function, numerator, equal to 0. Okay. For the vertical asymptotes, we set the denominator equal to 0. And I'll show you how to solve these in a moment. For the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0. And for the horizontal asymptote, this one's a little more complicated. This is the ratio of linear. I shouldn't even say linear. We can be a little more generic than that. We can say ratio of leading coefficients. And I'll touch a little bit more on horizontal asymptote in a moment. So let's get into this then. For the x-intercept, I'll do this in blue. For the x-intercept, we're going to set the numerator equal to 0. So that means 3x minus 8 equals 0. And if we solve that, we get x equals 8/3. Now that's not our answer because what I just wrote is an equation. What I'm really talking about is the x value. So we would need to turn that into a coordinate point, 8/3, 0. That would be an x-intercept. For the y-intercept, we set x equal to 0. Well, look what's going to happen here. We get 3 times 0 minus 8 over 6 times 0 plus 4. So these guys go away very easily. And all we get left is -2. Okay, or in other words, a coordinate point, x equals 0, y equals -2. So that's my y-intercept. That's the answer to this problem, for example. Now, the vertical asymptotes, here we set the denominator equal to 0. So all we have to do is say 6x plus 4 equals 0. We solve that, we get x equals -4/6. If you want to simplify that to -2/3, that's fine. But this would be our answer. This is actually supposed to be an equation, not a coordinate point. It's a vertical asymptote that runs vertically at the x value, -4/6. And then our horizontal asymptote at the end. Really, I should call this the end behavior asymptote, because horizontal asymptote is a little more specific. It's a type of end behavior asymptote. You can have horizontal or oblique asymptotes with rational functions. I think it's unlikely you'll ever see an oblique asymptote on an ACT or SAT test. That's just a little bit more in-depth than they want. What we do for the horizontal asymptote is we examine what type of function we have. Do you have top-heavy, bottom-heavy, or equal weight? Now this one is equal weight, and I say that because those are both x values, right? It's 3x and 6x. They're both x to the 1th power. So for here we say y equals the ratio of the coefficients, just 3/6. Hopefully you can see where the 3 and the 6 are in that function.